Hi, Red.
Hello, how you going?
I'm great. I'm so happy to have you back.
I'm excited to be back for round two.
Do you remember what happened last time? We just kept talking and we went over time. And some people who were watching us live asked us, please don't stop. But we did stop. And I promised the community that I will have you back. And here we are.
I'm excited. I'm excited to do round two and yeah, hopefully bring some more great conversation as well.
Yes, absolutely. Especially since Yotpo and you've gone through so many changes recently. It's stirred up a lot of news in the community as well that settled down a little bit now, but we'll unpack that a little bit during our conversation. I hope you don't mind.
Of
And
course. No, you know me, open book.
you are, yes, you are. And it's always, you're so authentic and you're so open. And it's always a pleasure having these conversations with you. And I know you say it how it is, and you know me, I'm as direct as people get. And probably the right person to chat to you about that. So if
Oh yeah.
anyone is joining us live, please let us know that you're watching us and say hi and or drop an emoji in comments. And as always, we love having you on here and thank you for joining. Red, over to you. So a couple of things. The we both know, and the entire industry, that technology is evolving very fast, faster than ever before, I should say. How do you decide which changes are worth adopting versus which ones to let go?
Yeah, I think AI number one is just coming faster than we would ever expect. I think it's catching a lot of people and a lot of businesses by surprise as well. Um, Technology is not slowing down, and I think that's the number one thing. It's just like it's just going to get quicker. It's going to get faster. There's so much. When it comes to, I say technology, there's a couple of things that and I know we'll talk into it a little bit about, how we're making changes as well. Um, Number one is looking to see how long the business is going to be around for. I think that's one big mistake because there's so much new technology that's coming onto the market. A lot of it doesn't last. A lot of it doesn't stay. So looking at like, is this business financially set up for success? Will they be here in 5 to 10 years? I think that's a really, really big thing that people don't look at. They see something new and shiny that comes into the market and they're like, oh, wow, this is really cool. I want to do it. And then in 5 years, it's gone because it's just hasn't been enough. They haven't, number one, maybe like haven't got enough finance backing them. They haven't acquired enough customers. There's so much that goes into a successful business. And everyone knows there's so much time and investment that goes into putting in a technology. Number two is how does it speak to the rest of the technology that I'm already working with and in the future? So, I'll give you an example. A lot of people are on, Salesforce or Adobe or BigCommerce, whoever it is, and might be looking to migrate to Shopify. That whole technology stack might look different in a couple of years' time. So again, making those decisions, if you are going to you're looking at your roadmap, and if you don't have a roadmap, that's crazy because you should be looking at what your roadmap is. Um, does it talk to the rest of the technology in your tech stack as well, and how does that connect through I guess organic integrations instead of having APIs and being really just inefficient when it comes to cost savings. And then the third reason is, does it make your life easier? Like, if this is not going to make your life easier, it's not going to make your team's life easier, then I wouldn't be looking at that technology. And then on top of that, it's just innovation. How much innovation goes into what you're bringing into as well? Like, what does their product roadmap look like as well? That's kind of the things that I would be looking at. And I know we're going to dive into some of those a little bit more in this conversation. But technology is evolving. It's leaving people behind. It's leaving businesses behind, and it's going to get quicker, faster. And I think if you're not thinking about, especially AI, when it comes to AI into your business or the tech that you're working with now, then you're going to be left behind for sure.
Yes, you touched on so many things, but all of them are massive projects. And I must say, in my brand collective times when we had to re-platform so many brands, it was a big decision, but it would probably be even more complex decision with AI in mind. It involves many teams. It involves a united team as well, so you can't operate in silos. But you obviously already know that. But there's a lot. And going back to your doing due diligence on businesses as well, sometimes it's hard to know. So sometimes we just have to watch and be very diligent. What is happening? How many clients do they acquire? How fast they grow? What's the investment like behind? All of the things. But it's just everything. It can't be light touch anymore. We actually need to do a lot of work around it and a lot of due diligence as well.
Yeah, and I know we're going to get into that. Obviously we're going to talk about the Yoppo changes and stuff, and we'll dive into that. But I think like what you touched on there around the brand collective, you made a big decision because it was a decision that needed to be made. And sometimes I find businesses are holding their feet and are scared to make those decisions, but you get left behind. And we can see this with legacy brands, the Just Group, you name it. You see all these legacy companies closing down. Surf Stitch was another one. They're getting left behind because they're not making quick enough decisions. So I think like if you are not going to make that risk, like you said, sometimes you don't know, right? You don't know that it's going to be the right decision. But if you're not making risk, you could be left behind, and we're seeing that a lot with the legacy companies now.
Well, before we jumped on live, you saw on LinkedIn that Eric and I ran to dinners, one in
Yep.
Melbourne, one in Sydney, with the retail CEOs, and we chose not to disclose who were invited for all the privacy reasons, and that's actually my preference as well. But the uh, the overarching theme was that indecision fatigue, because there are so many decisions that need to be made, and sometimes it freezes everyone from making decisions. Let's just talk about Yotpa changes. Let's just move to that
Hang
one.
on,
We've
hang
gone
on.
through.
I'm sad I didn't never got invited to this dinner. To be fair, I'm like, what, dinners without me?
It's not over. So we are planning. It's a lot of hard work, though, I tell you. So, but now that we know that it's absolutely needed, and the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive. Now that we have a proof of concept, we will be doing more of these. So you and I, my friend, will be talking about that. So you're not going to be
Amazing.
left behind. Trust me. So back to Yotpo. You've gone through some shifts recently. What's been the biggest learning from leading through that change?
Yeah, I think, look, I've been at Yoppo 5 years now, being the first on high. I've seen a lot of change in the organization. I think one thing is a couple of things. You have to have strong leadership that can make tough decisions for survival of the business. I think when people think Yoppo email and SMS, there's probably a perception that we weren't doing well, but that's wrong. That's a myth. We were doing really well. We had over 200 customers in Australia alone, which is huge considering we were only in the market for a year. So we were acquiring customers. Things that people loved about us was we did fairer pricing. We gave them proper service. We did things that people are missing in the market. So we showed companies that there is appetite for a new provider to come into the market and actually provide better service. And I think that will still be the case. The thing is, to be a successful and sustainable business, especially with AI coming into the market, and a lot of that AI stuff that's happening with email and SMS, it's not going to be sustainable for us. Like our profitable business is reviews and loyalty. And unfortunately, we were getting locked out of the ecosystem because we didn't have partnerships with Attentive, Klaviyo, Omnisend, you name it. Our partnerships were either limited or non existent. So we were like, why would we keep hurting our profitable business? Why don't we invest into the profitable business and just be the leaders? Sometimes businesses get sidetracked, and we were doing too much and not focusing on what we were doing really well. And it was a lesson, but it was something that our founders and our team, our leadership team were like okay to do. Like, yes, it's tough and it sucks, and we hurt some, of course we lost some brands because of it, because of that experience. But we knew in the long run that this is the right decision for us to focus on what we do really well and do it really well, and then partner and open up our ecosystem with all the partners that we didn't have relationships with. For me, a friendlier ecosystem only benefits our customers and our potential customers, that they're coming into the best at what we do and not good at what we do. So it was a decision that we kind of made as a leadership team, and I fully backed it. Hence why I'm still at Yoppo.
That was very admirable. When I saw the first post that went on LinkedIn announcing it, the first thing I thought of that how brave it was,
Yeah,
because these decisions are very tough to make, because obviously that automatically will impact the team and it will impact your customers, some positively and some negatively. So
yeah,
navigating that space would have been probably one of the hardest thing for you to do in your tenure in the business of the last 5 years. That's just my assumption. But when I looked at it,
100%.
I thought,
No, and that you've nailed on the head. It is a tough decision, and I can give you some, some I guess a bit more visibility. But Shopify got rid of their whole fulfillment team, big redundancies. Klaviyo did 20% redundancies recent. Gorgeous did 10% redundancies. No one's vocal about it. Something that we've always been is transparent. We will always talk about our changes, our redundancies, whatever we're doing as a business. Sometimes to our fault, we're too transparent, but I would rather work with a transparent business. So when people are making decisions to work with us, there's no hidden agenda. We are very open. We'll always be open as much as possible. Yes, it was a sucky thing for our team as well, because, like I said, we're doing well in Australia. Yes, it was sucky for our customers because they loved working with us. So it was tough conversations, but it's something that we didn't bury our head in the sand about. Um, all our leadership, and when I say about a strong business, I said this the other day to a team member, our leadership is still here in Australia from the day one. Our country manager was the second hire. Enzo is still here. Our head of customer success and customer success lead were the third and fourth hire. We are still here. Like, that is testament to a strong team and a strong vision of a team as well. And sometimes those tough decisions suck, but they need to be made.
they are, because the business needs to be profitable. So profitability is key. We can all have fluffy conversations, and it's amazing to do everything and anything, and make sure there is a lot of pleasings going on and hide behind it. But I love the fact that you're quite transparent and authentic and honest about it. We just looked at profitability and we wanted to double down at what we're good at and our core services, which is reviews and loyalty.
Yeah, correct,
That's how you
correct.
started. I remember this conversation 5 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we are kind of investing heavily into those products now immediately as soon as those changes have happened. Well, like I said, we've opened up our integrations with our key partners, Attentive, Klaviyo, Omnisend, and it's benefiting our customers already. So we already know that the decision that we made is already being fruitful for the customers that we kind of work with already.
Okay, you gave me a perfect segue, because I've seen plenty of announcements recently from you. Thank God you're very active on LinkedIn, so I can actually know exactly what you do at any point in time. That you've joined forces with some strong partners.
Yeah.
What do these collaborations open up for your customers?
Yeah, we've had a couple of big announcements. So firstly, we partner with everyone, which is a great thing, right? Like the open ecosystem. I've met with all the teams. All the, I guess, frenemies back there back in the day. We're all friends again, which is amazing. But some key partnerships that we have launched is one is with Novel, which is helping our omni-channel customers really bring that mobile first loyalty program. We have great people like LSKD, Princess Polly have opened up stores with it as well. It's just giving you a mobile experience. You've got your loyalty program in your hands. You don't really, I personally don't love having a chat to the, people in the store and stuff. So being able to give people control over their loyalty program in their hand and then giving them that mobile experience in store is something that's really, really important to us. Omnichannel is something that we're really, really pushing at the moment. We've done a lot of changes when it comes to our loyalty program, our tiers. A lot of the things now that were not possible with anyone, any loyalty program, is now possible with us, and it's something that we're really, really investing in heavy. The other thing is Attentive. So when we went to the market and we were like, right, who are we going to put out our preferred partner with? Attentive came top of mind, and there was a couple of reasons. Number one is our portfolio of customers when it came to email and SMS was heavily SMS. So the number one SMS platform is Attentive, hands down. It's not something that they're a $500 million business. they are huge. They work with some of the biggest brands like H&M, Asics. They work with really big brands. And we knew that most of our brands are SMS customers. So we wanted to give them an opportunity to go to back to the best. Of course, they could have gone to anywhere, but we kind of wanted to make that kind of white glove service. They're new in the email space. They've got money behind them. So they're not going to go anywhere when it comes to like being a competitor when it comes to email. So that's kind of reason why we kind of picked that partnership. But also they came to us and said, we respect what you've done. The language was very different. The language was, we respect your team, we respect what you've done. It wasn't any ego when it came to partnering us, and it kind of just aligned with what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? And the local team have been phenomenal. I spoke at their event yesterday.
I
Just the
saw. Mhm.
yeah, just the respect level. It was really nice. And the first thing they said to us is, when I was on stage, is, isn't this nice being able to sit here together? And they've always just acknowledged our team and the hard work that our teams put in. And for me, that's all it is. It's just like, you can be competitors, but you can still respect each other. You can still respect the work that you do. And yeah, it's kind of one of the reasons why we partner with them. But again, our open ecosystem is something that I love. I love the Klaviyo team. I love the Dot Digital team, Omnisend team. And for me, it's just going to benefit all our customers and any opportunity that we can work on together as well.
I love your focus on omni-channel proposition, and obviously the digital wallet is a game changer in my view, and it works very well with other channels. I'm not saying that one is excluding the other, but I
No,
think the whole combination of email, SMSs, and digital wallet, when done properly with the view of the customers' expectations and which channel they use the most and which one they prefer, actually. So then it's an absolute game changer. So that
yeah,
you and I love what you mentioned about the language, how important it is. Well, I know you as a person, so I know in general that it is important to you as a person. I'm actually very surprised to hear that the word that you use, frenemies, because I don't think you have any. But you always want to, for you, this is all just it's everything's an open book. You just want to be friends with everyone. You just want people to be mutually respected of each other. And this is very important to you as a person. I know that about you. But the fact that you mentioned when other people treat others with respect and partners with respect, that's very powerful. You
yeah.
can
Look,
handle any conversations.
I agree, and I think, look, there's enough for everyone to win. I think we should be, cheering people's success. I think like that's the most important thing that we can do, right? No matter, I always say, even if it's a competitor and they've done something, that means it's achievable. We should be cheering on that success. People are IPOing and stuff like that. We should be cheering that. It's an Australian company or Australian people that are creating that success. That's exciting. It's showing that we're thriving as a market. When a fashion brand breaks into the US and they do really well, fashion brands should be seeing that as amazing. I can do it too. So it should be, we should be cheering each other. We should be supporting each other. And I think we do that really well in Australia, especially when it comes to brands. I have so many founders that connect. They do swimwear together, or they're competing against each other, but they support each other, and that's kind of the mentality that tech should have as well. It's support, support, support.
Yes, because behind any business, there is a team of people that are doing very hard work. So by supporting the business and the brand, we're supporting the team that is behind it and help it grow and help it being successful too. But
Yeah,
ultimately, which benefits the customer at the end of the day.
agree. I agree. Absolutely agree with that.
So I want to broaden and pick your brain on the industry overall and just go slightly beyond Yotpo because you attend a lot of events, you speak with a lot of people, you have great relationship with many people. When you think about turning change into impact, what's one strategy you've seen work very well for retailers?
You're gonna love this because I know you're the loyalty queen as well. It's when loyalty is done right, it is so powerful. I'll give you an example. I was chatting to Sanjay, the Pure Baby CEO and founder, and they do loyalty with us, and we were having a chat the other day, and I was just like, why aren't you doing an activation in your store with loyalty? And he was like, Oh, he's like, I've never thought about that. I'm like, well, how are you rewarding your top tier customers? You have all that data, right? You can see all this data in your platform. I think when you are doing it well and you're looking at your data and you're creating an experience, like loyalty's changed. Yes, some brands are pretty good when it comes to points and they love, the, gamification and stuff. But where it's powerful is where you create an experience. I saw Meshki have just created a loyalty program with us, and they did like a night with their top, a dinner, a special dinner with their top tier customers. That's an experience, right? Those customers are forever going to be loyal. They've met the founders. They're embedded into now, being loyal to that company. Uh, that is where the gold is. It's understanding loyalty. When I hear brands talk for us, or we actually got St. Ali Coffee who just launched loyalty with us, and I was chatting to Yachty, who's the head of digital there, and I said, "Oh, do you want to speak at a panel for us?" He was like, "Oh, we're just getting started. This is how we're creating. We're going to be doing this with our B2B side of things of loyalty." That excites me. It's like you're really looking at your customers,
Mm.
and understanding not only are your customers B2C, but also your people that are buying your B2B business are your customers. How do you bring them into your loyalty program? How do you bring people in store? I know Right Away are doing stuff with, for example, bringing people into the gym and rewarding them for working out. That's exciting. When I see brands thinking about that whole omni-channel experience, or if you're D2C, how do you do activations outside of the D2C brand? That's where the power is, right? You're building community, you're building something that's tangible. It's not just the discount. That is where I think the power is. And I think people forget you own that data, that loyalty data. And I know you love Lexa as well, feeding that into Lexa, for example, supercharging that data, like that kind of gold is what brands should be looking at. And I think like when I see brands coming in and they've got a really good idea or concept, or they're like, this is just the start, we're going to look at this in 12 months and revamp it. Oh, that's chef's kiss.
Yes, agree. We all predicted that, well, in the loyalty circles, and I think Adam Posner mentioned that in January, in the beginning of the year, that the whole theme for 2025 in loyalty will be about moving beyond transactional into experiential retail and creating these customer experiences. And we didn't see that much movement in the beginning of the year, but now it's absolutely exploded because you saw the Iconic launched the loyalty program, David Jones launched their loyalty program, so everyone jumps on it. I mean, the best time was probably 10 years ago, but now that we've woken up into it and we started focusing on our first party data and doing something meaningful with that, I think this is very powerful. And I agree, when we go beyond those discounts and rewards and looking actually at that data to understand customer behavior and preferences and just package it in a way that it still benefits them,
Yeah, I agree.
meaning creating that experience, then that's very powerful. And you're in a great position because you can influence those discussions too, just because you have enormous amount of data, how loyalty, which loyalty program works very well, which initiatives work very well across which demographics. So I
Yeah,
think you can make an input into their strategy and strategic direction as well, which is very powerful because we don't want to look at loyalty in isolation. So for me, it's just all about the customer ownership. We can call it loyalty, we can call it something else. It actually doesn't matter. It's what creates that brand advocacy, and how do you create that community around your brand that follows you around, and
I
you can't do
agree.
anything wrong.
I agree. And look, I'll give you a good example because I know Adam was part of the judging criteria, but everyone raves around Mecca, right? Like Mecca's loyalty program, and they're like, "Oh my God, I want to do this experience." Princess Polly beat Mecca at the All-Star Bash as the best loyalty program, right? They were just D2C at the time, but they created a really great experience through our platform. They, sent people to Coachella. They really like went out and about, and it just goes to show like you can be the gold standard of what people think, but you can still do something really cool and be a mecca. Like you don't need to, you know what I mean? You just need to figure out like who your customers are and what you want to create for them. But like I said, if you see someone do something well, it means you can do it well as well. Like it shouldn't be just, oh, I'm never going to be able to create that. No, you can, and you can probably do something better. It's just you need creativity to come to life, and you need a platform to be able to support that kind of creativity as well.
Yes, I agree with you. And I bring that Mecca examples just because I'm not even a Beauty Loop customer. I
Yeah,
don't shop at Mecca, but it,
yeah,
it is a very powerful example. But we need to
yeah,
remember one thing, and people think, well, that's unattainable. But we need to remember that it's taking Mecca around 15 years
yeah.
to get to the point where everyone talks about their loyalty. And I know for the fact that it has
Exactly.
not been a smooth
Yeah,
road for them because there's a lot of training that goes into this with their store staff, and they had to build those the processes and those comms plan around it over a period of time, because I spoke with people that were creating that. So we can't just say, well, that's Mecca, and but we can't do much about it because we will never compete with that. Well, you don't have to. You just create something powerful, but as long as you start yesterday
yeah. I
and
agree.
build and evolve, the whole thing will evolve.
Evolve, that's the thing, and it's funny because we're obviously speaking to a lot of technology now, like that's coming through the market. Charity stuff's becoming really popular and stuff. So we're speaking with Go Generosity at the moment to figure out how we can get that kind of embedded. We're speaking to order editing, some really cool Australian apps. Like how can we kind of embed loyalty to that? Loyalty needs to evolve as well, and it's something that's exciting us as well. But like you said, if you're not thinking about it and you're not evolving, you're going to be left behind. Doesn't matter what you do. If it's loyalty, reviews, email, your ads, like you need to evolve. You can't be stale anymore. Otherwise, someone's going to sweep in and just take away your customer base really, really quickly.
I'm so glad that you're speaking with Rohan from God Generosity. I'm a big fan of what he
Same.
does and how they go about it. So that's fantastic. This is a perfect segue because I do want to ask you about another charity component. And for leaders that listening to us today, what's one mindset shift that helps navigate constant evolution without burning out? I think you're the right person to speak about this because I know you went through some very sad personal events. I think you lost your friend to suicide. I think we can all pick at least one person that we know of, and it's been and it's devastating. So, can you tell us a little bit about that cause that you're
Yeah.
supporting now?
Yeah, so I obviously went through a little bit of a hard time and stuff like that. And like you said, I think, sometimes we don't stop and think like, even though you don't probably know someone directly, but you know a friend or someone that's gone through it. So you feel the impacts anyway. I think one of the good things about our community is we have access to so much that we can be giving back. And one of the things that I wanted to do was, I had a tennis tournament that I was going to be part of, and I kind of reached out to them and said, "Hey, do you mind if we connect this into a charity event and raise awareness for suicide awareness?" And I started reaching out to some organizations, and I came across Switchboard, which is a Melbourne-based organization that helps with people with suicide and kind of giving support with people as well. Like they do training and classes with people that have been affected by it as well. Within a week, we raised over $3,000. It was just a raffle ticket that we did. But the amount of organizations, like LSKD, Muscle Nation, Catherine from Waterdrop gave all the players hydro packs and water bottles. Salt Lab came in, Naked Harvest, I Love Linen. I had all these amazing brands really wanting to give back. And it's something that it made me think about is we don't stop sometimes as organizations. We don't stop to see if anyone's been impacted through their mental health or personal lives. We don't give back enough, and I just think like in a week to raise $3,000 on a raffle to get these prizes that people were happy to give away, we could be doing so much more with organizations. We
So
can do
true.
so much more to give back to the community, to give back to our staff. It's something that now I'm thinking about at Yopo. It's like I know we did something about our team did something. I think it was in Bondi where they went and cooked and they made hot meals for the homeless. And it was one of the best events that our company had did, and the staff absolutely loved it. So thinking about just taking a break and like how can we give back to people? How can we support other people as well? It feels good to do something, you know? It fulfills something that it's like a void for me. Like I'm not a person that just sits back and not wanting to do something. For me, it's like if my friend has passed away, I don't want it to be in vain. I want to kind of do something in their name. So it's something that I'm constantly thinking about now. It's like, okay, well, how can I do something? How can I raise awareness? How can I use my platform to help people? And it's something now that I'm pushing our company and other corporates to do as well. And we will be doing more mental health panels with organizations as well. You know, I know Aaron from Lex is really passionate about
Yeah.
giving back as well. So like I'm thinking about, you know, people that don't want to just hear about e-commerce. I want to talk about, you know, burning out and, you know, mental health and how can we support each other more. So I think that's something that's going to be a bit of a focus for us next year as well.
That's beautifully said, Brad. You are a wonderful human, and I'm so glad
Likewise.
that so much focus goes into their care and support and helping each other out and just checking in. Uh, we all check in with each other on a regular basis, and it makes a massive difference. Just
Yeah, I
because.
agree. I
So thank you
agree. I
so
agree.
much. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you again,
I
and
can't believe the time. Just I just looked up now and like it's gone already again.
I know.
We
So
need to
you
do
know what it means.
our sessions, Anna.
We'll break them up into
It just
chunks.
means round three next year. I know you're busy, so
That's
yeah,
exactly right. Well, it
yeah,
will
no,
happen.
definitely.
You know, when it's scheduled, it happens. So, and what's important gets scheduled as well.
Oh,
That's
I
why we
appreciate
jumped
it.
in and we created this on the back
I
of it. And
appreciate
I
it.
just flew in, very late last night. So it's my commitment. Is the way that I want to put spotlight on people that deserve it, and with the hope that it's going to help many others. Because every single conversation, if it can change and inspire one person, then we did a great job.
I appreciate it, and I've got a lot of time for you as well. So I'm looking forward to our dinner soon, hopefully.
Thank you. We definitely organize that. Red, it's been such a pleasure, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining, and everyone else who watched us live.
Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Happy Friday.